ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our singing star, Miss Kitty Reed.
Hello world, this is Miss Kitty Reed. Kirsten and I are here today to discuss The Quilter's Daughter. This is the second book in the Daughters of Lancaster County series, better known to you viewers as the series with the kidnapped Amish baby. Abby Miller has always been a person who helps others, especially her mother Fanny, as she promised her father she would before he died. She tends to ignore her own needs to care for others. So when Fanny, now remarried and living in Pennsylvania, tells her she is pregnant at 47, Abby not only accepts her mother's offer to come for a few weeks when the baby is born, but comes months early over her worries about her mother's health and her desire to help out. She leaves behind in Ohio her fiancé Lester, who wishes she didn't leave as their wedding day is fast approaching, and leaves her quilt store under the management of Lester's mother. Soon after Abby surprises Fanny by her early arrival, Fanny announces that she is pregnant with twins. Abby enjoys her time in Pennsylvania, but takes so much work upon herself that she rarely writes to Lester. She even postpones her wedding day to take care of her mother and her two new twin brothers, Titus and Timothy. Abraham's son and Abby's stepbrother, Matthew, has taken an interest in her, but cannot act upon it because she is engaged. Abby has been having dreams of being trapped in a fire, and then those dreams become real. Abby's quilt shop burns down, and Lester dies in the fire, having gone into the burning building to try to save her quilts. Abby falls into depression, blaming herself, regretting not spending time with Lester, and burying herself in work to ignore her pain. Abby takes on so much of the care of the twins, Fanny feels upset that she hardly gets to spend time with her own children. Fanny's cousin devises an intervention. She insists Abby accompany her to Montana. While there, they stay with a distant relative whose husband and son have died. The cousin even goes home and Abby stays behind, finding the change of pace healing. She sells the quilts Lester died to save, but it is hard and she leaves the auction house. She saves a boy from drowning, gives her life and pain over to God, then crashes her bike into a tree and breaks her leg and is unconscious for several days. Meanwhile in Washington, Linda and Jim are still raising Jimmy, really the kidnapped Zach. Jim's guilt is eating him alive and he has become rude to Linda, constantly snapping at her and burying himself in his work. Linda is still overprotective of Jimmy. One day, Jimmy makes a new friend at the park and Linda befriends the boy's mother. Soon the friend invites her to church and Jimmy to vacation Bible school. Although reluctant at first, Linda goes to church and keeps going, accepting Jesus as her Savior one Sunday and coming home a changed woman. Jim thinks religion is for weak people and belittles Linda. Linda discovers that she has breast cancer. Matthew goes to Montana to take Abby home after she is released from the hospital. They agree to go on a date. The end. No, fans, we still don't know what happened with Zach. We still have not had any resolution. Jim was still not held accountable for kidnapping a baby. We'll have to wait till the third book, which is The Bishop's Daughter. You're going to have to wait some more. We still have Christmas coming up next month. We still don't have much resolution. This book really didn't advance the plot of the story at all. It was sort of a filler. I did appreciate the book for the theme of taking on too much work. We see how Abby has a very good desire to help people and to use her time to help her family and those in need. Of course, that's very good, but she takes on so much work that she has no time for herself and she's actively harming herself, especially in her recovery from losing Lester. No one sees her struggle because her coping mechanism, helping other people, is good. It's not like she's drinking and it's obvious that pain that's taking a toll on her. But in this case, the coping mechanism is good, so people aren't seeing her struggle except Matthew. He's very good at helping her to overcome this tendency to work so much and bury herself from her pain. I really liked that theme. It was a good theme to take on in a book, and I think you can see it really well illustrated here. Very much appreciate that book for this very timely and important theme. However, We just have to get the elephant in the room addressed here, folks. Yes, they are step-siblings. It's weird. I felt uncomfortable with it. I didn't really expect this kind of relationship to happen in my cute little wholesome Christian romance, but here it is. I know. They have no blood relation. They didn't grow up in the same house, so it's not weird or anything like that. But that's going to be one odd-looking family tree, folks. Just putting it out there. Another thing that I happened to notice and instantly looked up when I first read the book is that this book was actually written before the premiere of Dance Moms. So Abby Miller in this case predates the infamous Abby Lee Miller. I don't know, that's just something I found interesting, even though I've never watched Dance Moms. But I thought someone out there might pick it up. We don't have much resolution in this book. We have no leads on Zach in the whole book. The family's no closer than they were to finding Zach. The situation with Jim and Linda has not changed much. It's deteriorated rapidly. But Jim has still not said that he kidnapped Zach. He has gotten rid of the evidence. He got rid of a quilt that he stole Zach with. Zach was wrapped in this quilt and he sold it to a store. So we don't have that anymore. We do, in fact, though, this quilt was sold and it did get back to Zach's family. The actual quilt got back to Zach's family. Forgot to put that in there, folks. But Zach's family now has the quilt that he was stolen in, but that doesn't really help us at all. There's no actual leads back to Zach. So even though we had this, it was nice. Ginny from the first book saw Zach and sort of recognized him. She somehow got out to Zach's area and is living there. But these just seem like distractions. There's no way that these are concrete leads to finding Zach. Maybe it'll all come together in the third book, but it just seems very abstract. I kind of feel like we're just, in a way, being strung along. But it might come together. You don't know, so I'm not going to put too much emphasis on that for now. But the family does at least have little consolation. The book ends on a big cliffhanger. Linda has cancer, and it just ends. Will she survive? I don't know. That's very serious, of course, so we don't know what happened there. And I had come into this series assuming it was Amish romance, but it really is an Amish family drama. Because the first book, the romance between Naomi and Caleb, was exceedingly minimal, and the family drama was really the important and exciting part of the book. And here we mostly have drama with Abby being able to better herself and overcome her grief. Matthew and Abby don't even go on a date. Most of the book, they're not even together. There's really very little chemistry between them, and it just ends. There's nothing really concrete there. I guess probably in the next book we'll see that they're married, but not really a very good resolution coming from my perspective of wanting an Amish romance. If you wanted an Amish drama, that's fine as well. I really want to read the third book of this series. I just have to find the resolution at this point. This book was really a filler book. It was okay. I think I would have appreciated it more if it was a standalone, but still, it was pretty mid-range. It was okay though. I'll give this book a 4 out of 7. Would recommend, but I think that my hardcore Justice for Zach people out there are going to be very disappointed with this video and very disappointed with this book. Sorry if that's you. You folks know who you are. Someday, I promise, we'll find out what happens to Zach, but not next month, because we are reading our Christmas book, An Amish Holiday Courtship by Emma Miller. Please check it out with your local libraries. It is a love-inspired book. And look into that book. Try to see if you can find it. Sometimes libraries have those on a non-barcoded section, so check that out as well. That's where I found it in my library. This has been Amish Book Club with Miss Kitty Reed. This is Miss Kitty Reed and Kirsten signing off. See you later on Amish Book Club.
Living in the rhythm that I'm speaking of. You'll be happy in your work if you're in love. You'll be happy in your work if you're in love.